things up to the brain. It says, doctor just hit my knee. I didn't like that, but I'm supposed to react. Motor cortex sends it back down the same way. This time, ventral root ties into muscle spindle and it contracts. So sensory, SA, sensory afferent, motor efferent all the way back down and causes a contraction. And we're about to get into myotatic reflex. Before we do that, we have also the brainstem, relays information between the brain and spinal cord, made up those three items: midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, helps coordinate muscle function. Will also, because we said they're important vital functions as well, cardiovascular and respiratory functions. So those are involuntary. And also has to deal with pain control. Opioid substances usually help with pain there. Also, big reason why we like to do exercise, or it's prescribed for many different issues or health conditions, because their beta endorphins are released and then they block out any kind of pain. Or if you generally just go for a little jog, they say 20 to 30 minutes, doesn't have to be high intensity. Generally you feel good, kind of ties into that runner's high feel. So that's another reason why, how it plays a part in helping. So, spinal cord, continue off the medulla oblongata, two-way conduction, nerve impulses, so it has a communication system. Like I said, same, sensory ascending, efferent, motor, causing a muscle contraction, descending. All right. Peripheral spinous nervous system connects the brain and spinal cord, 12 pairs of cranial nerves. And at some point you will have to remember all those.
Every nerve?
Not every nerve, but you definitely want to remember 12 cranial nerves. I think concussion testing, you always like to have that aware of. 31 pairs of spinal nerves connect to the spinal cord, and they will both directly supply skeletal muscles. So we've got the two major divisions. Are you hearing that? Sensory and motor division. So you'll hear all that. What's going on with that? So cranial nerves, peripheral nervous system, and all your spinal nerves. So you've got cranial, thoracic, then your lumbar spine, and then your sacral spine. That's where they stop at the sacral. And they all do different things parts of the body. Some are sensory and motor, some are only motor. We'll get into that a little later. Any questions? What's also important to know about this is within the sensory division, they contain mechanoreceptors, nociceptors. Nociceptors are the pain receptors. So they let you know when something hurts. Photoreceptors, so light sensitive, chemoreceptors, and thermoreceptors. Again, that shows a design because if you have buildup of too much carbon dioxide, try to hold your breath. You can hold it as long as you want. Eventually you're going to have to take a breath or else you're going to pass out. So it's basically body's trying to save itself whatever you want to stop it from doing, right? That's just within the cardiorespiratory system, but thermoreceptors tells you, hey, I'm getting cold, put some clothes on, has a behavioral effect on it. Thermal regulation, so your body is able to adapt to many different situations. So there it is, just break it down a little bit more. Mechanoreceptors, physical forces, chemical stimulus. Also ties into when you're exercising, you start to build up hydrogen ions, and that is acidic. So you just have to breathe in more, expel felt so you get that buffering capacity going on. It's very, very interesting how all different types of receptors will maintain homeostasis. This is probably a good stopping point. Any questions?